بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، صلى الله وسلم على خير خلق الله أجمعين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اغفر لنا ولشيخنا ومشايخه وللحاضرين وللمسلمين أجمعين. أما بعد، قال إمام الدعوة الشيخ محمد بن عبد الوهاب بن سليمان التميمي رحمه الله تعالى في كتابه الأصول الثلاثة وأدلتها ودليل الصلاة والزكاة وتفسير التوحيد، قوله تعالى: وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة. ودليل الصيام قوله تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. ودليل الحج قوله تعالى: ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا ومن كفر فإن الله غني عن العالمين.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على ترجمة. طيب نسيتك.
الإمام الشيخ محمد بن عبد الوهاب رحمه الله تعالى, he says in his book Usool الثلاثة وأدلتها, the proof for Salah, Zakah and the explanation of Tawheed is the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were not commanded except that they should worship Allah alone, making their worship purely for Him, Hanifan, upon Tawheed and free from shirk, and that they should establish the Salah and pay Zakah. That is the upright religion. The evidence for fasting is the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala: O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those who came before you, so that you may attain taqwa. The evidence for Hajj is His saying: for Allah upon the people is Hajj to the sacred house for those who are able, and whoever rejects it, Allah has no need of creation.
نعم، الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام الأتمان الأكملان على محمد رسول الله سيد الأولين والآخرين وإمام الأنبياء والمرسلين والشافع المشفع يوم الدين، وعلى آله الطيبين وأزواجه الطاهرات أمهات المؤمنين وصحابته الغر الميامين ومن استنى بسنته واهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Imam Muhammad Abdul Wahab rahimahullah ta'ala, after speaking and clarifying about the first pillar of Islam, Shahadatain, the two testimony of faith, he continued clarifying the rest of the pillars of Islam, as Salah, prayers, Zakah, charity, and fasting and Hajj. As-Salah linguistically means supplication, dua. Salah means dua. In English they say pray, and pray could be supplication and could be the normal practice of the 5 time worshipping, 5 times a day, the worship of 5 times a day, which is known in Arabic as Salah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Salah with different meanings in Quran, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, for example, in Surah Al-Imran, as well as in Surah Al-Imran, Allah ta'ala mentioned the Salah by the meaning of the normal practice of prayers, as Allah ta'ala said about Zakaria alayhi salam, as Zakaria as the meaning of Salah as dua, as supplication. There Allah Ta'ala said about Zakaria: هنالك دعا زكريا ربه قال رب هب لي من لدنك ذرية طيبة إنك سميع الدعاء. At that, Zakaria called upon his Lord, saying, My Lord, grant me from yourself a good offspring. Indeed, you are the hearer of supplication. Right. So he was standing, calling Allah, calling upon Allah. Right. Then Allah Ta'ala said, فَنَادَتْهُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَهُوَ قَائِمٌ يُصَلِّي فِي الْمِحْرَابِ. So the angels called him while he was standing in prayer in the chamber. So he was praying. What is this praying? It is explained in the previous ayah, supplication. In the other ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned prayer with two other different meanings. One is supplication and one is praising. As Allah Ta'ala said in Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 43, هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور وكان بالمؤمنين رحيما. It is He, Allah, who confers blessings upon you, and His angels ask Him to do so. So the angels ask Allah, they pray to do so to the believers. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cares for the believers and covers them with His mercy. And He, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praised them in the presence of the angels. Praise them in the presence of the angels. While the angels supplicate Allah to do so with the believers. So Allah Ta'ala said, and His angels ask Him to do so that He, Allah, may bring you out from darknesses into the light, and ever is He to the believers merciful. So, Salah is a word given to different activities of worship. One is supplication. Second is praising. Third, which is commonly used, is the normal practice of worship 5 times a day in the religion of Islam. That is known. Yani like standing, bowing, prostrating. This type of activity is called Salah in Arabic, prayers. And whenever the word Salah is mentioned, initial meaning is 5-time prayer. This activities of bowing, standing, prostrating. But it could be one of the other meanings. As in the hadith of Ubay bin Ka'b, when he came to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, O Messenger of Allah, whenever I pray, I send salutations upon you. But how much of my prayer should I make for sending salutations upon you? Here, pray and prayer means dua. It doesn't mean standing, prostrating and bowing. It means dua. He says, I sit every day for some time, like for example an hour, making dua. But I also send salutations upon you in that dua. How much of the time I make for dua should I use in sending salutations upon you? Isa said to him, as you like. He said, well, I will give quarter of it. He said, as you like, but if you do more, it will be better for you. He said, then I will do half of it. He said, up to you, but if you do more, then it is better for you. He said, then I will make 2/3 of that time for sending salutations upon you. He said, as you like, but if you do more, then it will be better for you. He said, then I will make the whole time of the prayers that I made only be for sending salutations upon you. Then the Prophet ﷺ said to him, then you will be given sufficiency of all worries, meaning all worries will be wiped away and all sins will be forgiven. That is the meaning of prayer there. When he said, I pray every day. That means I make dua. I sit in a portion of time making dua. So here, Salah in this hadith, in the hadith of the pillars of Islam, it means only one thing. That is the 5 times a day practice, which contains of standing, bowing and prostrating. And this prayer is obligatory upon every single Muslim. No one is exempted. Only we say no one is exempted. Do you all agree? Is there anyone exempted from obligation of Salah? Think of it.
Yes.
But that's what I wanted to hear. This is wrong. This is wrong. We don't say exempted from the obligation. It is obligatory on them, but it is forbidden for them to do it while they are in menses. And that's why it is forbidden to make it up after freeing from menses. Only some ulama said that if the woman is free of menses by a time of 1 or 2 prayers which can be combined, then she has to do both of them because of the timing. Okay? Now,
what about a person who is mentally ill?
طيب. Is it obligatory upon him?
No.
La. The conditions of obligation, first one is mental capability. If he is insane, then no. Then no. That's why the child is not considered to be fully sane. That's why it is not obligatory upon the child until he reach the age of puberty. Yes, the parents are told to instruct the children in age of 7 to pray. But if they don't, they are not going to be punished in the day of resurrection. Okay? They are just instructed to pray in order to be familiar with the prayer. So when they reach the age of maturity, it does not become something difficult upon them. You know? Like the fasting, the Sahaba used to make their children fast even in the early ages, not as mandatory, but to make them be familiar with it, exercise it. So no one is exempted from the obligation of Salah. No one. It is obligatory upon every Muslim, sane and not sleeping. Because when you are sleeping, you are out of the if I can say, the cabinet of sanity. You don't know what's going on. That's why you are pardoned. But as in the other hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, رُفِعَ الْقَلَمُ عَنْ ثَلَاثَ. The pen is lifted up from 3 qualities of people. What does that mean? No sin is written against them. Why? Because they are out of sanity. They are insane. Sleeping person is insane. And that's why the ulama says, if the person who is sleeping says anything, it cannot be considered. Meaning, if he is while sleeping said to his wife, you are divorced, you are divorced, you are divorced, it's not counted. If he said to his friend, I gift my car to you, he cannot take it even if there are thousands of people witnessing. Why? Because he is insane. He is sleeping. The pen is lifted up. Okay? And the child. The child the same. And this also leads to the opposite. If he says a word that is a sin, if he cursed, if he suspected his wife that she committed adultery with someone, he's not going to be lashed for saying that about his wife. He's not going to be asked to swear 5 times. He's not. Why? Because at that time when he said it, he was insane. He was insane. That's why the salah is the same. But the one who is sleeping must make up those prayers he missed. Must make up those prayers he missed. Like the one who forgot the prayer. For reason or another, he forgot. He did not pray Asr until he heard the adhan of Maghrib and he thought that it's Asr. Oh, but it's dark. What should I do? We say, nothing. Go pray Asr. That's it. Easy. If it is still not Iqamah time. If they already call Iqamah, go pray Maghrib, and after Maghrib, pray Asr. Easy. Islam is built on ease. Okay? But the child is not told to make up the salah that he did not pray before reaching the age of maturity. He did not pray Asr. And by the sunset, he became mature. He got one of the signs of maturity. That time. So what we say to him, alas, you pray Maghrib and on. That Asr, if you make it up, that's good. If you don't, there is no sin on you. No sin on you. Why? Because at that time, it was not obligatory on him. It was not. Why? Because he is in the age where the pin of registering is lifted up. Lifted up. Okay? So we have now talked about the one who's sleeping and the one who is under age of maturity. The third is the mad person. Mad person is like the woman who gets free from menses in a time of one of the 2 prayers which can be combined. Dhuhr and Asr, Maghrib and Isha. Okay? If this mad person, he had his sanity back to him before sunset, then he has to make up Dhuhr and Asr. Dhuhr and Asr, because it's still time of Asr. But if he had it by sunset, then no Dhuhr, no Asr. Because until the time finished of the next prayer, he was not sane. So it is like that. So it is the prayer. The 5-time prayer, many people, like, when is the prayer made obligatory? Huh? When was the prayer made obligatory? No. Al-Malki.
The phrase. So after Isra wal Mi'raj.
In the Isra wal Mi'raj. In the Isra wal Mi'raj. What year was that? 10th of
10th of
prophethood.
Before Hijrah.
10th of prophethood. لا ايوه دعوة the prophethood. طيب. What was before that? لا, they used to pray. The prayer was there, but not in these times, not in these ways. They used to pray 2 rak'at, because the Prophet ﷺ, as you all know, that he was. They used to pray secretly, hiddenly, but it wasn't as it is. After it is assigned after in the Isra wa Mi'raj journey. Okay, so before that they used to pray, but not 5 times as after that. When the Prophet ﷺ was ascended to the Isra, to the Mi'raj, there Allah, above the 7 layers of heavens, He commanded him to command his ummah to pray At first 50 times, and then Allah made it 5 in action and 50 in reward. And 50 in reward. طيب يا إخوان, now, why was the prayer assigned in the heavens, not on earth, like all other obligations? All other obligations were on earth, except for Salah. Now,
Is it because of the sanctity of the Salah?
excellent. And because Salah, as they say, that it is silatun بين العبد وربه. It is sila. It is a kind of connection or communication between the slave and his Lord. Because in the Salah, you cannot do anything but what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you to do. You there only to glorify Him. Yani when you are fasting, you can go do work. You can even entertain, play sports. You can do whatever you want. You can go marketing. Okay? But in Salah you can't. You can't. In Hajj, you still can go perform tawaf, you can go marketing, you can go, but in Salah you can't. You can't. So Salah is the ibadah in which you free yourself for your Lord. Fully, completely. All other worships, partially. Partially. Because in Siyam, you only are told to stop eating and drinking and sexual intercourse. That's it. Other than that, you can do. You can do. But in Salah, not only that, but many, many things you cannot do. While you are fasting, you still can see your phone, answer your phone. In Salah, you cannot. You cannot do that. Okay? So Salah is the heaviest worship. And Salah, as you hear, Zakaria was standing and this and that. Salah is made obligatory upon all mankind from Adam to last man. There is no any single mankind is exempted from obligation of Salah. Not only mankind, but even jinn. Not only jinn, even angels. Not only angels, even trees, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Rahman, what? النجم والشجر يسجدان. Stars and trees prostrate. Prostrate. Look, everything prays to Allah the Almighty. That's why Salah is made so highly significant in Islam, and that's why it is the distinguishing element between kufr and Islam. As the Prophet ﷺ said, العهد الذي بيننا وبينهم الصلاة فمن تركها فقد كفر. The distinguishing element between us and them, meaning the not Muslims, is Salah. Who abandons Salah is committed kufr. Committed kufr. Right? And Salah, because of its significant rank before Allah, it wipes away sins. As in the hadith, الصلوات الخمس, 5-time prayers, والجمعة إلى الجمعة ورمضان إلى رمضان مكفرات لما بينهن مجتنبة الكبائر. The 5-time prayers, Jum'ah to Jum'ah, Ramadan to Ramadan, are recoveries of all the sins between them, as long as the major sins are avoided. Right? So, not only the Salah, but even the preparation for Salah, the wudu is a recovery of sins. Not only wudu and Salah, but even waiting for Salah in the masjid If you pray Dhuhr and you sit, or pray Maghrib and you sit waiting for the next Salah, you are given reward of the Salah that you prayed. أنت في صلاة ما انتظرت الصلاة. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, you are in a prayer as long as you are waiting for a prayer. Look at that. So that's why Salah is very, very important in the life of Muslim. The life of Muslim. Now, and subhanallah, the ulama say that Salah in the Akhirah, Salah is not the way that we do today. Salah there is tasbih, glorifying Allah. Glorifying Allah. So it's now your chance to do as much as you can of these prayers. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ said to the man who asked him to ask Allah to make him accompany him in the Jannah, he said to him, then help me to obtain that for you by much of prostration from you. Prostration, when you do prostration, Salah. If we say pray could mean dua, impossible that prostration means dua or part of dua. La. Dua is part of prostration, not the other way around. You know? So that's why Salah got this high level before Allah in Islam. That's why. And that's why Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said about the congregational prayers for men. He said that we in Medina, meaning the Sahaba, in Medina the Sahaba, we in Medina did not used to consider one who is absent from the congregational prayer except one who is either sick or hypocrite. Period. He did not say someone who is lazy, because laziness from prayers is a kind of what? Hypocrisy. Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, إِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالًا. When they stand up going to prayers, they stand up with laziness. يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ. What made them then, okay, with laziness, what made them to go? Just to show off. So, prayer is the main and magnificent identity of the Muslim. That's why one time I was in London and a brother asked me saying, can I shave my beard? Because if the people here, the kuffar, see me, they bother me and harm me because they know that I'm a Muslim because of my beard. I said, okay, if you shave your beard, you think that they are not going to know you? Right. That means you're not going to go to the masjid. Because when they see you getting into the masjid with beard or without beard, they will know that you're Muslim. Where you're going to the masjid. So that means you're going to shave your beard, you're going to abandon Salah. And then, are you going to go with your wife to marketing, to park, to whatever? Is she going to be covered? Or she's going to be exposed like the kafir woman? If she is covered, then they will know that you're Muslim. If she is uncovered, then a third violation. Said you need to look. So the first thing is Salah. Salah, and that's why the ulama said that the land in which you cannot pray, you should migrate. You should leave. Because this is the least. The least. And that's why Allah told us the story of the youth in Surah Al-Kahf. Because they were banned from practicing their religion. They are not Khawarij, they did not used to kill or do this or that. No. They were only praying their Lord. The kuffar did not like that. So they left them. And that's why, that's the same thing people of Lut said. They said, إِنَّهُمْ أُنَاسٌ يَتَطَهَّرُونَ. There are people who purify themselves. Rebel them out, expel them out of your land. So if you cannot pray in that land, then you have to leave that land. Why? As Allah Ta'ala said, أَلَمْ تَكُنْ أَرْضُ اللَّهِ وَاسِعَةً فَتُهَاجِرُ فِيهَا. Was not the land of Allah so spacious so you can migrate to? Meaning to worship Allah. To worship Allah. So, because Siyam, fasting, you still can do and no one know. You still can do and no one knows. Zakah you still can give, no one knows. No one knows. But Salah, la. And especially for men. Especially for men. You have to go to the masjid and pray in the masjid. Now, and then Salah has many other rulings and details. The time is not enough to speak about them. But inshallah, we're gonna speak about the rulings of Salah in details in the coming sessions. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi.